Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm the Toy Enhancer, and today we're going to take a look at the Street Fighter 2 Chun-Li, who is amazing. She was in a lot of people's top 10 this year. Uh, she was just looks amazing if you were able to catch a glimpse or a review of her. Um, I wasn't sure about going in on this line, and that's why the thumbnail says "Don't get burned." Um, let's talk about that for a minute. Sometimes when you're a big toy collector and you have a lot of different lines that you collect, you kind of want to like see how they go before you dip into the line necessarily. And she does. This wave was great. This wave came out with Ryu and Fei Long. So it was a good line and a good wave that was produced. But I wanted to see like the other figures that were going to come out. I wanted to see if Jada was going to hold it together and do the whole line because I got burned on a couple lines. But let's talk about Silverhawks for instance with Super 7. Um, they came out with the Silverhawks, and here's a Quicksilver. But later on, I don't know, a few months back, I found out that they're gonna redo these in vac metal. So obviously, I stopped buying these ones because I want the shinier vac metal, on the Silverhawks. And again, that's a Super 7 line that he never hit my review table because I found out about the other ones that were coming out, and it kind of makes these obsolete. Just because it's a dull gray look instead of the vac metal, which I really wanted because that was the original vintage way that those toys were made. So that's an example of not getting burned. I've already got kind of burned on those toys. I have them, and now I'm just waiting for the vac metals to come out. Another line that came out was the Thundercats. A lot of people weren't sure about Thundercats because Super 7 scooped it up, and they were gonna, they've taken a lot of time to develop all these waves of Thundercats that came out, but it finally did. That was a line that I invested in because it finally did prove to show a lot of good stuff coming out as far as the Thunder Tank, and now we have the Cat's Lair. I mean, guys, I'm here to tell you right now, if you haven't jumped on the Super 7 Thundercat train, it's probably the only one that you're going to see. I don't think anyone's going to approach the Thundercats again and make a line. And, I know it's not the greatest articulation in that line, but it is the Thundercats. And I do love that line because I'm such a big fan of Thundercats. I cannot resist getting my hands on probably the last toys that will be made for that line for a long, long time. So I know they're expensive. I know a lot of people, disagree with that, but I just wanted to bring that up. But don't get burned. Again, going back to the Street Fighter 2. Finally, like I think Jada has an excellent line that's coming out. I'm willing to go all in on it, and we're gonna start with Chun-Li, and let's take a look again at the back, and you can get your hands on Ryu and Fei Long, and I know a lot of people pronounce his name different, but when I was a kid, it was Ryu. So that's that's how I pronounce it, and I'm sticking with it. I'm not going to change it from 30 some years ago. I played Street Fighter all day long, and Fei Long. When we were kids, we didn't call him Fei Long. I don't know if it was just because we didn't know better or his name was hard to say. But yeah, that was Bruce Lee, man. So I know it's not Bruce Lee, but yeah, he looks just like him in the game, and that's as kids, that's that's what we would call them. But yeah, I've dumped many, many, many hours into Street Fighter 2 um, with my friends and just good times. It was either you were playing Street Fighter 2 or Mortal Kombat, and it was a constant arcade lined up line with kids with quarters in their pockets and looking to dump all that money into the arcade just to play it, because of course the arcade version was a lot better because the screen was bigger, most of the time, and you could battle your friends on this giant arcade that everybody was, all lined up, ready to play. So let's pop her open. Let's take a look at Chun-Li. And, I have seen, Ninja's reviews and just people that, had her in their top 10. And um, it really sold me on getting her. And like I said, I was just kind of waiting to see like what this line was going to do. What are they going to bring to the table? There's certain characters that I was worried about, and I'm not necessarily going to say who they were, but I just needed to see what they were going to look like before I dipped into the line fully. All right, guys. So this is the back of the box. You see, it's got a little Street Fighter background. This is definitely a scene from the game. You see there's a little chicken in the crate, like a small town Tokyo vibe to it. Pretty cool little background. This is Chun-Li right out of the box, and I mean, look at the beautiful face sculpt on this character. I mean, just take a minute to really. That was another thing that just sold me on going into this line, is they did a beautiful job on her face, I think. And of course, her figure, well proportioned. She's definitely a thickie. Old thick girl, which is the way we like them. Sorry about it. There's a slew of kids in the next room, so sorry if you can hear that on the microphone. They are going nuts. They're playing with toys. Missy has some people visiting, and they have a bunch of kids out there. But we're going to do the review anyways, because I don't have time to tell them to hush. So yeah, she's just looking slamming. And, of course, the best thing about this figure is the flexibility. I mean, this rubber piece on, her skirt, and just the overall flexibility of this character is amazing from what I've seen. I mean, she is just very, very, very posable character. And I mean, you can do the whole, as far as a martial art character, like she can get all the poses, splits. And that was another thing that sold me on the line. I was like, what is the articulation going to be like? I was like, I want the best, because that's all these characters do on the game, is do all these wild poses. So we'll see if we can get her into a few. But yeah, I mean, again, just look at the remarkable detail on this figure, and you cannot deny how well of a job they did. I mean, it's awesome. Alright, so let's see what she came with. And we'll start with the alternate head. So there it is. She's got the screaming face, more angry, ready for battle, ready for the fight. She did that wild helicopter kick and all kinds of crazy stuff. She had that real fast motion forward kick. If you remember on the game, she was very fast. I use Chun-Li a lot in my Street Fighter battles because it was fun beating my buddies with a girl. I really enjoyed it. She was quick. These are her hands, the flat pose hands. It's good for doing that pose with her fist and hand together. It's real nice stuff. So, I'm late to the line, but I'm glad that I'm gonna hop on the train and we can review the rest of the characters together. And then it came with this stand, which is wicked cool. See if we can see if I can just get it together for you real quick. And then this effect, and this is like rubbery, like it's not, I thought it was hard plastic on the other, I didn't see anybody like really do that to it, but it is like flexible, and I was like, oh, okay, because I didn't know if that was a hardened plastic on reviews or whatnot. And I believe that pegs into there, but it's probably going to be a pain in the butt to get in there. Okay, I got it. It is it just squeeze it and apply it in sideways. That's probably the best way. And you can just adjust this stand, right? So it's an adjustable stand, so you can get her foot into the fast motion foot pose, you know. Something like this, right? So that's a very cool like option that Jada just like threw in there and gave to us, you know, that just made the character, I mean, all that better to have this custom accessory, you know, that, oops, that just looks awesome. So yeah, she's a real clean, mean looking character. I'm very impressed with her, and I'm impressed on the rest of the line. Now that I've seen like what we have to look forward to, I'm definitely gonna go all in on the line. So you can't deny. I'm gonna pick up, you know, Ryu and Fei Long, and I believe Ken just recently came out. Leave a comment if you guys are in this line and you know the characters that are available. You know, let me know in the comments, and we're gonna pick them up and definitely review them. But yeah, guys, that's Chun-Li. Let's look at the vintage Chun-Li, and if you haven't done so already, shoot a like, subscribe if you follow me for future reviews. But let's take a look at this vintage Chun-Li. Alright, so this was our first option of Chun-Li back when Street Fighter first came out. And it's in a G.I. Joe form, you know, this is the same caliper style of character. It's not an O-ring character, but you know, the waist does nothing, but definitely in Joe format. Still, you can still see a lot of detail. They even gave a cloth sash on her, so a little soft goods action in there. You know, face sculpt was very decent, and she came with like bukus of accessories. Yeah, she had these weapons, you know, similar to Storm Shadow, and I think Nunchuck. Yeah, Nunchuck had something similar to that. I might be wrong. Came with a blade and another sword. You know, this is the vintage days. She even had some nunchucks. So yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, that for the first one to have all those weapons, cool weapons that, you know, you're not going to see in the game or whatever, but that's her, man. Chun-Li. That was the first option you could get to have an actual character back in the Street Fighter days. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. Are you excited about this line? Have you started this line? You know, are you Do you have other figures that you like? Let me know in the comments. And I hope you enjoyed the review. And I'll catch you on the next time, guys. Thanks.